Sorry everyone, my camera ran out of time. I hate when that happens. We're going to be keeping an eye on the clock now. So continuing on what I was saying in the last part, welcome to part 2 by the way, DLCs. Some DLCs that got it right were the Fallout games. Long, expansive DLCs. They had side content, but it was also a really good part that added to the overall story of the game. Compare that with some of the nickel and dime bullshit DLCs that are coming out. You want the real ending of the game? Buy the DLC. Oh, you want a character that's critical to the entire series? Buy the DLC. That's bullshit, and that's the way to the complete wrong way to approach DLC. Do you want to make worthwhile content that adds to the gaming experience, or do you want to make something that should have been a core part of the game to begin with and then charge more money for it? And that's where I feel the consoles have now gone wrong in the past year. It only remains to be seen what happens in the future with this kind of stuff, okay? Alright, let's keep going because I have quite a lot of questions to get through in this one part of this episode. A lot of people ask me about this new game called Marvel Heroes. It is an MMO, but it's not basically a role-playing game. It's an action-based game similar to almost like Marvel Ultimate Alliance. Well, here's the deal, and I don't know if anyone's been paying attention. John Rambo talked about this game on his this week's show, his podcast. We're very interested in playing it. In fact, myself, John Rambo, OJ, and Joe have all purchased the $20 starter packs for the game. Now, it is a free-to-play game, but if you buy the starter packs, you get certain characters and you get bonuses. We all said, let's invest a little bit of money in the game. We're going to try it out when it comes out in April. There's no set release date yet, but when it does come out, we're going to try it out together. We're going to be doing cooperative gameplay of the game. And we're going to really invest some time into it and see if we like it. And if we do, it may be an ongoing series that we do together, okay? We all love Marvel. We love comic books. And if this game works out, it might be a cool ongoing project, something completely different and new that we all are going to be trying out that we've never done before. So we're going to give it a chance. Fingers crossed that it's good and it's not shit and a cheap cash-in. They already have a $200 version of the game where you get like all the characters. And it's like, who the fuck's going to pay $200 for a game? I don't know. Kind of weird. But we're willing to give it a shot. That's going to be coming sometime in April, whenever the game gets released. Like we said, it doesn't have a set release date yet, but I'm looking forward to it, and I hope you're looking forward to it too now that I've announced it. Next question. Hey Phil, when do you think will be the right time this year for Retro Replay to experience longer games like Fallout 3, the continuation of Phoenix Wright, Blue Dragon, and others? And that's from Dragon Killer. The bottom line is, it's a very easy answer, whenever there's no new releases. Right now, as we've said, this year was very heavy with new releases on the earlier side, probably because all these game developers were told last year that the PlayStation 4 was coming out later this year, possibly the next Xbox as well. So all these game developers are trying to rush to get their last group of this generation of consoles games out earlier this year. It's really looking like the middle of this year, especially the summer, is going to be insanely slow with almost no new releases. If that's the case, that'll be the time for me to jump into Retro Replay games that are longer games. I would love to do Blue Dragon or Fallout 3, so we'll see what happens. Those may be in the polls later this year. Okay, next question. Phil, why don't you post all of your vlog videos to both the King of Hate vlogs and DSP Gaming? This way more people would view your vlogs, you'd be better rewarded for all the hard work you're putting into these vlogs. It seems like a win-win-win for everyone involved. Give it some thought, keep up the great job. That's from Septipus. Septipus, it's this simple. Last year, I got nothing but complaints that I was putting out way too many videos on DSP Gaming, okay? Every day, daily, people were unsubbing from the channel. And I know that subs don't really mean anything, but at the same time, it at least shows consistent growth. And I hate to say it, but YouTube, Machinima, the media, everyone judges channels off of subs instead of views. I have no fucking idea why. Because there are channels that have nowhere near as many views as me, but way more subs, okay? So, I don't get it, okay? I think that you should be judged on how many people watch your content, not how many people have subscribed to your channel. Especially because most people don't subscribe to my channel because of the way YouTube works, not because of my content, okay? But the bottom line is, I was constantly losing subs, and that was the #1 complaint. You're putting out too many videos, and I'm unsubbing. So this year I mixed it up. I'm uploading less videos, and in direct response to people saying, Phil, we're missing your vlogs because you upload so much footage, your vlogs get lost in the shuffle, okay? I took the vlogs off DSP Gaming and put them on this channel, the King of Hate Vlogs, just for that reason, so people who want to just see the vlogs can see them. Well, unfortunately, exactly as I predicted, unfortunately people are slow to change, or they just don't like, oh, I have to look at 2 channels now instead of 1. Well, you weren't watching the vlogs on the one channel. Now that the vlogs are moved so you can sub and watch them, you're not watching the vlogs on the other channel. It's like, give me a fucking break. What I've determined is that there's just a group of people out there who are so fucking lazy, they're not going to watch no matter what. So you know what? It is what it is. I like having a vlogs-only channel because perfect example is today. I'm uploading Bully, and I'm uploading Metal Gear Solid 4 on DSP Gaming. If I were also to upload Ask the King, chances are not a lot of people would watch it, because there's so many videos uploading over there on DSP Gaming that Ask the King probably wouldn't get a lot of attention. But now, because Ask the King is going to be featured separately on its own channel, chances are it will at least get attention from the core audience that I'm aiming for. So, if I were to upload these videos to both channels, you would just go back to the old problems, the old complaints. I'm almost now at a full month. I think it's another 3 days. I'll be a full month where every single day on DSP Gaming I've gotten positive subscription growth. That's right. Every single day on DSP Gaming I've gotten more subs. This is the first time ever that I've done that for a month on DSP Gaming. I'm not kidding. Like, since the channel existed, it's the first time ever that I've done it, and that's an achievement for me. Because now, in the eyes of YouTube and Machinima and everyone who judges how big channels are, they'll finally, oh, look, his channel is growing in subs. And I hate to say it, but it sucks, but you gotta play by the rules of these idiots who don't even understand how their own business works. Yes, YouTube is a bunch of idiots. They don't understand that their business should be based off of views, not subs. They're that stupid, okay? So it is what it is. Some people have suggested, why don't I just take my game reviews, The Hateful Truth, The Week in Preview, and maybe things like channel updates, and bring those over back to DSP Gaming, but keep the vlog style like this. Ask the King, DSP Tries It, keep those on the King of Hate vlogs. I thought about it, but again, perfect example. Sunday, I uploaded a shit ton of footage, and then I uploaded the Week in Preview. And if I had uploaded the Week in Preview on DSP Gaming, chances are it would have got lost in the shuffle with all the footage. So I really don't know what to do. It seems like no matter what I do, I'm damned if I do and I'm damned if I don't. I did exactly what everyone asked me to do, and now people are saying bring the videos back. It's like, what? Like, see what I mean about the vocal minority? Like, who really is the people who are speaking up? Were the people who were unsubbing and complaining the vocal minority? Are the people now who are speaking up the vocal minority? I have no idea, and it's hard for me to judge what to do when everyone says something different. For now, I'm keeping it as is. We'll see what happens later on in the year. Yes, just so everyone knows, a lot of people brought this up. I am aware that it was just announced that Kingdom Hearts is going to have a 1.5 HD release later this year, which is going to have Kingdom Hearts 1 and I guess one of the side games for it released in an HD collection later this year. Yes, I am interested. Yes, I probably will be checking it out as a game that I'll be playing along with other stuff later this year, because I think that's a great idea. I've never played Kingdom Hearts. A lot of people have asked me to play it, and this will be a great way to experience it. Okay? Next question. Did you enjoy the difficulty of games back in the day? The perfect example is the Tomb Raider series. My first time playing it was recently at a friend's house, and goddamn is it hard. I had no idea what to do because there were no tutorials and there's no help in the game. I'm sure this was the same as Street Fighter 2, and that's from Mandark FFF. Yeah, I'll be honest, back in the day, no one held your hand. It was really, you would have to rely on gaming magazines, and you had to rely on buying the strategy guide, and you had to rely on the internet, even though as primitive as it was back in the day. I remember going to the arcade to play new fighting games with giant stacks of paper as move lists for all the characters in the game, half of which were probably fucking wrong anyway, because no one really knew. This was just stuff people were trying to discover. So, yeah, it was a lot harder back in the day to beat games, to get through these games. And that's why a lot of people, oh, Phil, he sucks at games. You realize that I used to play games at their hardest, and I used to beat them, right? Like Tomb Raider. I beat Tomb Raider. I did. I played it from start to finish, no help. I beat the game myself. So, you know, people saying that I suck at games or whatever, they don't seem to understand that. You know, I used to play the hardest games, and I used to beat them. You know, every week I was in the arcade for hours. Hours and hours on the weekends practicing Street Fighter to get good and get to the level that I was at. It wasn't an overnight thing. It's not like Street Fighter 4 where you can play it for a few days online and all of a sudden you've mastered the abusive strategies and you're good at Street Fighter 4, okay? It wasn't like that back in the day. It was difficult to figure out how to get good at games. So, it was way different. Okay, now on to Twitter questions and then a few Facebook ones, and then we'll wrap this up. First question is from KirkEng93, and he says, What do you feel about the fact that EA is going to put microtransactions in all of their games? And they're saying that this is the future of gaming and people love microtransactions. If you don't know what he's talking about, a day or two ago EA came out and made a statement. I guess it was one of their people on Twitter or something. They said, oh, it seems like people love microtransactions because we put them in Dead Space 3 and everyone's using them. So from now on we'll put microtransactions in all of our games. Now, there was a lot of controversy about the microtransactions in Dead Space 3. The fact that you could basically nickel and dime your way into beating the game by buying the best weapons and everything right out of the gate. And to me, here's what I say. Microtransactions, I don't mind them as long as it's not a competitive game. If it's a competitive game and people can get ahead by spending more money, that's bullshit. But if it's not a competitive game like Dead Space 3, who cares if some schmuck spent $100 extra dollars, bought all the best weapons in the game, and just tore through the game? If he's that stupid, you know, so be it. And you know what? We do have to sit down and realize that even though you and I are intelligent and we understand that these microtransactions are stupid, there are a lot of stupid people in the world, okay? Let's face it, Justin Bieber, the Jersey Shore, Paris Hilton, the Kardashians, none of these people, Fred on YouTube, Toby Games, yeah, I hate to say it, these things wouldn't be popular if people weren't stupid. Okay? People who are stupid like stupid, dumbed down, idiotic content. They like to laugh at failure. These are dumb people. Okay? And so, these people will say, oh, I can get the best weapon if I spend money. And they put their fucking credit card in and they buy it. And they just bolt through a game and they get all the achievements and trophies because they paid for it. They're stupid, okay? They don't understand that part of the gaming experience is actually earning those things so that you feel some accomplishment when you get the best weapons in the game. Sorry for the jump cut, everyone. I was using my other battery, which is my faulty one. It says that it has like 120 minutes in it, and it really only has like 40. So, unfortunately, the battery died again, so sorry for the jump cut. But to answer the question, going along with what I was saying, you have to understand there are stupid people in the world. And companies will always profit from stupid people. So as long as there are dumb people who will pay for the microtransactions, EA is going to profit and there's nothing we can do about it, you know? We can say we don't agree with it, but it's just going to exist. That's business, okay? Profit off of the stupid people. Now, what I say is, if you don't support it, obviously don't do it. Do not buy it, do not spend money on it, and especially in a competitive setting, like if in Street Fighter, all of a sudden you could get, you know, better abilities and stuff by spending money, then I strongly, very morally disagree with it. But corporations will profit off stupid people, and that's just a case of it. Okay, next question. Phil, this is from Ghost23. He says, will you do a PlayStation Home walkthrough in 2013? Listen, everyone, I know that people love my PlayStation Home walkthroughs, okay? It's always a hit every year when I do it. This year, since I've changed my uploading schedule, I'm uploading less, I'm doing different stuff, I haven't had a chance to do it. I haven't had downtime. The downtime that I've had, I've been using to play other games. And case in point, right now I'm in the middle of Bully and I'm in the middle of Metal Gear Solid 4. This is a dead week with no new releases, but I'm playing those two games. And until I beat them, I'm not going to have time to do anything else. If I find time to do PlayStation Home, I will. But at this point, I haven't heard anything about it and being new or great or anything anyone wants to watch anyway. I don't even know what I would do in PlayStation Home at this point. I haven't heard, there haven't been many changes or anything. But I'm not saying it's a no. I'm saying that I need to find time to do it. I'm going to try to find time to do it, but I don't know when it's going to happen. Next question is from What J Transade. Okay, I guess it's what J Trans said is what it really says. And his question is, how do you feel about Dead Space 3 and Resident Evil 6? They face a lot of backlash in the community, but you seem to enjoy the hell out of those games. Yeah, and you know what? It's because of my approach as a gamer. I don't approach games as, oh, I'm a survival horror fan, or oh, I'm you know, a staunch advocate of this or that. I approach games as games. If the game is fun, it's good. I don't care if the game changed what it is it fun is the question. I found Dead Space 3 and Resident Evil 6 to be insanely fun. Great production values, lots of content, massive fun. Co-op gameplay as well makes it fun. So, all those things made the games great. I don't care if it's not survival horror anymore as long as I'm having fun. I really feel this is the problem in gaming now. It's become more mainstream. It's become more accepted, but now people are taking it so seriously that, oh no, you changed Resident Evil. It's not the classic survival horror anymore. That game sucks. No. Is the game fun? if you have fun with the game, then the game is good. And that's what people, oh no, I refuse to have fun with this game because it's not like the old ones. That's not the mindset to go into when you play video games. You're supposed to go in with an open mind, play the game, have fun with it. That's how I approach games. I really enjoyed both of those games, even though they're not a lot like their previous iterations. I still enjoyed them, and I had fun with them, and I rated them appropriately. That's that. Okay, next question. This one is from Mutu Sandu, and he says, will you ever make another appearance on the show? I think those episodes are the funniest. Now, he's talking obviously about John Rambo and OJ's podcast, The Show. And what I have to say is this. I love being on the show. I actually watch the show every week. This week's episode was hilarious, by the way. If you haven't seen it, you got to watch the first couple minutes. It's footage of OJ jumping off of a building. That's all I'm going to say. I fucking pissed myself. I was like literally about to soak myself last night when I watched this. I was genuinely like fucking taken. I was overcome with fucking hilarity when I saw this. So anyway, definitely check it out. But anyway, I love the show. I actually watch it every week. Or at least I try to. There are once every once in a while when I don't get to watch it. But I do try to watch it every week. And I'm a fan of the show. If you want to have me on as a guest, you got to tell John and OJ. You know what I mean? Like, it's their show. It's not mine. I have absolutely nothing to do with it unless I'm asked on as a guest. You know, last year I was asked on for the Thanksgiving episode. So maybe, you know, if you want me on again to talk about stuff, what I would say is Screw Attack Gaming Convention is coming up. And actually, that's going to be a question I'm going to be answering very soon. But Screw Attack Gaming Convention is coming up in June. That might be a great opportunity for us to jump on and talk about it on the show. So, that's what I'm saying. If you want me on the show, you got to talk to John and OJ about it, okay? Alright, next question. Let's see here. This one's from Celsafar, and it's how will the fully implemented Affordable Care Act affect your financial situation? If you don't know what he's talking about, it's Obamacare. It's this bill that Obama drafted and it's passed, and it's going to go into law once it's implemented, and it's going to change the way healthcare works in the United States. From what I'm to understand, it doesn't do anything for me, because I don't work for anyone. I don't work for a company where it's like they're providing the health care for me, okay? If I had been working for a company, supposedly, it might have helped me. It might help my parents, because right now they're having a problem with health care because my dad's unemployed. But for me, I don't think it helped. I think because I'm self-employed, I don't think there's any provisions in it for me to help me. I could be wrong, but right now, all I know is I'm paying a ridiculous amount of money for my own individual health care, okay, from an HMO, and I don't see how this act is going to help me in the least. That's the bottom line. It might help others. I don't think it affects me at all. Alright, next question. Phil, this is from Mike D. Hell, by the way. He says, you mentioned your back often enough that it makes me wonder, will you still consider having that surgery that you talked about, or if you reconsidered, what's the deal? The bottom line is this. The surgery hasn't improved. The surgery is the same as it was 2-3 years ago. It's still very risky. It could actually make me worse than I am right now. Right now, I'm at a point where as long as I relax myself, I don't strain myself, I use my back stretcher, which incidentally is right in front of the floor, my camera on the floor here, that I'm okay. Now, my back did act up in October. For a few months there, it was pretty bad. It is getting better again. So for me, as long as my back can stay in this condition, I'm okay with it, okay? It's not that big of a deal. But that might change, especially as I get older. Things might change. Technology is advancing. They are working on technologies for disc injuries like I have. Injections into the spine that will actually swell up and force the disc to stay where it's supposed to be, to lower herniation and such. So as technology improves, I may be able to get something better than just the intrusive surgery. We'll see what happens, but for right now, I'm not considering the surgery. Okay. Next question is from Ben Hunter 611. He says, Phil, have you ever watched the YouTube show Botchamania? And if so, what do you think of it? If you're not aware what it is, Botchamania is a very long-running YouTube show. In fact, it existed before I ever uploaded videos to YouTube, where this guy who calls himself Matthew with 2 F's, it's a show of bloopers from wrestling, where he takes the biggest gaffes and mistakes and botches, basically, and puts them into compilation videos that are hilarious. Not only am I aware of Botchamania, I'm a huge fan. I used to watch it all the time. Unfortunately, now that I do YouTube full-time, as I've said, I really don't watch YouTube videos anymore. So I haven't seen Botchamania in quite a while. However, funny that he mentions this because back when we were dealing with MagFest and all that drama in late 2012, and MagFest eventually did offer me a panel, but the panel would have been at like 12 midnight. I said to them, you know what, thanks but no thanks. I'm not going to do a 12 midnight panel because I know a lot of my fans are younger and they're not going to be able to attend at midnight. Plus it might bring in a more rowdy crowd, people coming up drunk from the concerts and such, and that's not really what we're looking for. But I had also known from chatting with them in IRC chat and other things that Matthew from Botchamania was also denied a panel at MagFest this year. And so I told them, thank you for offering. What I would suggest is that you give the panel to Matthew, because he runs a great show. He actually had the midnight panel the year before. I remember seeing it on the schedule, and apparently he loved doing it, and I actually felt real bad for him that he wasn't getting a panel this year, and I said, please offer him the spot that you're offering me. I think he deserved it. Did they do that? I have no idea, but I thought that would be a nice thing to do for him because I know that he's a good guy, his show is funny, and I hope that he did get a panel. I have no idea because I didn't attend MagFest. I'm sure people who attended do know, but hopefully he did get a panel. Okay, next question. This one's from Pickup Sticks, and he says, what are your thoughts on people posting gameplay early? Does this affects the whole playthrough community and it comes off as greedy? If you don't know what he's talking about, this unfortunately is becoming an epidemic on YouTube. People are finding ways to get advanced copies of games. In fact, right now, and I hope that you don't run off from this video and go watch these videos, right now people have gameplay and almost full playthroughs of Tomb Raider, which doesn't come out until next week, okay? It's messed up because people are basically stealing. Number one, you cannot get the game ahead of time. It's illegal, breaking street day. So you've broken the law right away. Already you're a lawbreaker. Number two, it's illegal to put up footage before a street day. So even if you're doing a playthrough, it's still illegal. So it's breaking the law twice. And it's also unfair for people like myself, like anyone else who does playthroughs, who, you know, we like to do games on release day. We like having fresh content on release day. And if people break street day, all the people who are dying to see what these games are like, a lot of them go, unfortunately, they go to these people's videos and they give them subs and views, even though they don't deserve it. The only reason they're getting the subs and views is because they broke the law. So it's really unfair that people are doing this, and it is becoming an epidemic. Seems like every new game now. I used to be the guy who was known that on release day, Phil has footage of all the new games, so go watch Phil's videos. Now it's becoming more, well, everyone else is breaking street date, so go watch their videos. And then maybe some people watch Phil's videos because, you know, he's funny. And that's unfortunate, because I do not break street day. And now I know there's an elephant in the room, so let's address it. People are going to bring this up. There was one game that I played ahead of Street Day. That game was Street Fighter Cross Tekken, okay? Here's the deal with Street Fighter Cross Tekken. Number one, I didn't break Street Day. I didn't have the game. I played it at someone else's house. Number two, the only reason I did it is because I was not able to play the game for the rest of the week because I was going to be busy. So I knew either I don't play the game at all and thousands of people complain and get mad at me for not playing the game, or I play it a day early. And so that, in that case, in my opinion, it's actually not bad, and here's why. Now, because I did it, I know people are going to say, oh, you're a hypocrite. No, it's a fighting game, okay? Fighting games are not a story-based thing where you're going to spoil for everyone else. Just because some people watch my videos the day before release day doesn't mean that on release day they didn't go watch other people's videos of Street Fighter Cross Tekken. It's all gameplay. It's all new gameplay. It's things that people are watching. With fighting games, it's different. You're not spoiling the story. It's not like someone's going to watch a playthrough of Tomb Raider last week and then come watch my playthrough because they probably already saw the whole game. You know what I mean? So it is a completely different animal. Now, what I disagree with is these supposed pro Street Fighter players who are known in the community getting advanced copies of the game months ahead of time. So wait a minute. This guy already is doing this professionally. This is his job to play Street Fighter. Now you're going to give him a 3-month advantage and give him the game? Of course he's going to win the fucking first tournament. Like, it's a no-brainer. So it's complete bullshit. That I disagree with, because in a competitive setting it's unfair. But for someone like myself and Howard, who were just playing the game casually, as you saw, we didn't enter tournaments, it wasn't any big deal, we were trying to get an advanced leg up on anyone else, that I didn't have a problem with. Okay. Couple more questions. We're actually running late here, so I'm going to try to get through these quickly. This one's from Gamer J. Lee, and he says, what are you going to be planning for SGC, which is Screwjack Gaming Convention? Well, Gamer J. Lee, incidentally, is someone who actually is going to be attending the convention. We're going to meet up with him there. What I'd like to announce are a couple things. First of all, we're definitely having a panel. I'm not sure what the panel is going to entail yet. It's probably going to depend on how far John Rambo's gotten with his show, Shazman a Hole Punch, what I'm currently working on at the time. But the panel will be entertaining. I am also going to do, that's right, I'm announcing it now, an open challenge to anyone who wants to play me in Street Fighter. I believe they're actually going to have both a Street Fighter 2 Hyper Fighting cabinet as well as a Rainbow Edition cabinet. I will play anyone in Street Fighter who wants to play me, and I might even, I haven't decided yet, but I might even do an open challenge where if you beat me, you win something, okay? So this will be a cool incentive. People who want to play me in Street Fighter, and if you think you can beat me at Hyper Fighting, because I'm actually extremely good at Hyper Fighting, by the way, head out to SGC, see if you can beat me, you may win something. So I may bring stuff with me to give away prizes and stuff. We'll see what happens, but that's kind of a cool thing that I think I'm going to be running at SGC. Come meet me at the vendor table, and I'll have times, open challenges where people can come play me in Street Fighter. Maybe we'll film the whole thing. It'll be a real cool thing, both for SGC and for my channels. It'll be neat. So, very cool. Okay. More info on SGC as it approaches, by the way. If you want information on it, it's sgconvention.com. Definitely check out the website. Okay, now we've got a couple Facebook questions, and then we'll end the episode because it's going extremely long. From Dara Cadigan, he says, "Hi Phil, my question is, what editing process did you take when you were making videos of the PlayStation Move games and the Kinect games where you showed the game footage and then a screen showing yourself and others like John Rambo playing the game?" It was pretty elaborate. Basically what I had to do, I had one camera on my coffee table recording the game, another camera right here on the tripod where it is right now recording this way in my condo, and I had 2 video feeds, and then I would take those videos, put them into my video editor, and do picture-in-picture, have one video superimposed over the other. It takes a lot of time and effort, but that's how I did it. I basically had to do 2 cameras. Next question. From Diego Hobbs. He says, "What do you actually know about Naruto?" And I get the feeling he's, oh no, I said Naruto. I didn't say Naruto. Oh, what do you know about Naruto? Ho, ho. Okay, the reason he's asking this is because I've announced that next week I'm going to be playing Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 3 along with Tomb Raider. And I think a lot of people are interested to know, what do you know about Naruto? Well, I actually watched at least the first 3 seasons, I want to say, if not more of the show. I actually also watched some later on episodes, and I also read some of the manga to certain points. But I'm sure that since that was so long ago, I've got to be like way the fuck behind wherever the show and the manga are. I've never saw anything Shippuden whatsoever. So if anything, I'll probably recognize some of the characters from the original series, and I'll know their abilities, but I'm not going to know jack shit about the plot. Oh well. Okay. Next to last question from Wesley Aaron Canty. He says, "Would you ever consider playing another Persona game, or any game made by Atlus for that matter, after what happened with Persona 4 Arena and the copyright debacle? If you're not aware, last year Persona 4 Arena came out. It was a fighting game. And initially I did the tutorial, and I did a few videos of messing around with certain characters and their story modes. Well, I got copyright strikes, not for that, but for the tutorial videos. For playing the motherfucking tutorial, Atlus gave me copyright strikes on my DSP Street Fighter channel. Machinima jumped in. I actually disputed the strike. Machinima jumped in, talked to Atlus, got it cleared up. But the bottom line is Atlus was giving everyone copyright strikes for a fighting game. Let me put it this way. Atlus, whoever works for you, who you got working your copyright division, is completely batshit insane. The videos were promotion for your game. And what I can tell you is this. Right now, I am very wary of ever playing another Atlus game, because I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with the nonsense, the bullshit, copyright strikes for what? Basically, that means that they have no logical thought with their team, with the people who work for them. They're just complete assholes. They're complete idiots. They don't understand that videos of their video game are promotion of the game. The fact that you put copyright strikes on a tutorial video for a fighting game makes you look so fucking stupid. You are a bunch of inept idiots. You're horrible at your job. And I honestly don't know if I'll ever play another Atlus game. Then again, I don't know if any other Atlus games that anyone's going to want to see are going to come out. I don't know of any in the near future that are coming out regardless, so who knows. Last question. From David Chester. That's right, you get the final word here. When a game comes out for both the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3, you normally choose to play it for the Xbox 360. Well, now that Sony's revealed the PlayStation 4, and with all the Xbox 720 rumors, by the way, no, it's not going to be called the Xbox 720. I wish people would stop saying that, because who spins in place twice? As of now, which console will you prefer in the near future? It's very simple. It's the same reason why I play most games on the Xbox. whoever beats whoever to the punch is going to get my dollar. So if the PlayStation 4 comes out first and there's cross-platform games, I'm probably going to be buying them on the PlayStation 4. If the next Xbox comes out first, I'll probably be buying them on the Xbox. The other key thing is features. If I have the PlayStation 4 and it comes out first, but then I find out that the online play is kind of crappy, the voice chat still sounds like shit, and they really didn't improve upon things that the Xbox does better, then maybe I'll jump ship and go to the new Xbox. I don't know. It depends on features, but also who comes out of the gate first. The bottom line is if PlayStation 4 comes out first and I have it, I'm probably going to have more incentive to continue to play games on the PlayStation 4. That's the honest truth. That's why I started playing with the Xbox 360. That's why I have so many achievement points on the Xbox 360, and that's why I'm kind of sticking with it. So, that is it for this episode of Ask the King. An extremely long one, and I apologize for it, but I had a lot of questions to answer because it had been a month and a half. The next episode is in 1 month, March 28th. The thread is already existing on my forums. Head over there if you want to post up questions. I'll be talking about it over the next month and reminding everyone that you can also do Twitter and Facebook questions the day of. So, thank you for joining me for this edition, episode 30 of Ask the King. I hope it's been entertaining for you and informative. I'll see you next month. Peace out.